because people need to be more obsessed about what they do. I don't care if I look crazy. I don't care if I don't get enough sleep. I don't care what happens, man. I got to keep going and I got to keep grinding, because at the end of the day, my results are based off of me. I had a conversation the other day that reminded me that if you're not obsessed about the grind and you're not obsessed about where you want to be at, then who else is going to be obsessed about it more than you? You're either going to be obsessed or you're going to be average. It's one or the other. Some people, they want to be obsessed about wanting to be the best at something or really being successful, but then they settle for being average because they realize the work that it comes with. And I think that the more that we're trying to work on ourselves, the more that we're trying to build, we have to be obsessed with the craft. We have to be obsessed with getting to the highest level and our potential possible. And I think that what we end up doing is that we settle for being average because we realize that it's more of a challenge than we thought. And what that does for us is that it actually puts us in a position where we're not actually able to grow like we need to. You must be obsessed after the craft that you want to accomplish. If you're not as obsessed about it, or you're not as passionate about it, you're never going to accomplish it. And the reason I say that is because if you don't want to continually work after what you're already passionate about, what else are you going to work after? What else are you going to actually grind and want to be better at? If you're not consistently going to the gym, or you're not consistently putting in the late hours or the early mornings that it really takes for you to actually get to the place that you need to be at, then you're just going to settle for being average. And that's not the type of person that you are. What we need to realize is that the more that we actually focus on the goal and the vision that God has already given us, then that's actually going to put us in a position to continually work on it. And that's why I always say start with the why. If you already know why you want to continually work after something, it's going to keep you motivated and disciplined to keep going after the things you want, no matter how tiring it gets. We're either going to be obsessed or we're going to be average. There's only two sides to it. You're either going to be obsessed and continually work after the goals and the passions that you want to do, no matter what challenges you get, or you're going to be average and quit whenever times get tough. And I know that for myself, whenever I sit here and I start thinking about the things that I want to accomplish and the things I said that I would do this year, it's like, are you really working towards those things that you said you wanted to do, or are they more so just passing you by? Are you just averagely doing them, or are you actually being obsessive about actually accomplishing those goals? At the end of the day, that's the question that you have to ask yourself. Can you go to sleep late at night knowing that you actually put in the effort that you needed to for you to accomplish the things down the road? Or are you more like, I'll get to it tomorrow. I'll get to it whenever I have time. I'll get to it when blank, right? What position do you actually put yourself in to where you're willing to actually work after the goals that you said you would do? Are you really obsessed, or are you just going to be average in that? Everyone has something that they're naturally good at. Everyone has something that they're working towards to be better at, right? But the thing is that you have one thing about you that no one else can actually do like you. I was talking to a friend of mine. He told me to read this book called The Genius Zone. And basically what the book is talking about is that everyone is good at something, but everyone is also a genius at something. And so the more that you can be a genius and actually utilize that in your life into other people, that's what can end up making more of an impact or making you a lot more money or successful in your career or in your life. And so it's like, what are people good at that you can use and that you can get better at? So that made me think about, what are you good at and how can you be better in it? But what are you also a genius at, and how can you be obsessive about maximizing the potential and the results that you can actually make in that? So actually utilizing that to put that out there into the world, to be like, okay, this is what I'm really good at, or this is what I'm working on, and this is what can make me money. This is what can make me successful. This is what can make me impact a certain person in a conversation. What are those things for you? Because if you're not obsessive about wanting to work on your craft and wanting to be better, then you're just going to settle for being average, and that's not the place that you're supposed to be at. That's not where God has called you to be at. And that's where we have to sit here and think, okay, what does it look like for me to be obsessive about something? And when was the last time I even was? I know for most people in their life, they just go through their days, and it's probably the same type of day, same type of routine, and they don't really think about being obsessive about anything outside of their work. But there's also other people that's willing to work and step out of their boundaries and step out of their comfort zones to actually be obsessive about a craft that they're working towards. So which category are you going to be in? Which category do you already fit in? If you had to look at your life, are you on an average scale, or are you on the obsessive scale, wanting to be better in every single aspect of your life? That's a question that you have to answer. And when you understand which side of those that you're already on, are you on the winning side or not? And if you're not on the winning side, then you have to only blame yourself for that. But don't take the blame and sit there and start, feeling bad for yourself. What are we going to do to actually get better in that? What are you going to become obsessive about? Are we going to start learning and reading about your books? Are we going to start taking about your online courses? Are we going to start being better with our finances? Are we going to start getting in the gym more? Like, what are we going to do to get to the next level for us to actually be great? Because if we always settle for being average, then what else do we expect from ourselves? What is other people going to expect from us? Oh, okay, I can't really go talk to Elijah because, you know, he's not really that educated in blank. So he's probably going to give me some type of average answer. He might not even know it. But if it's a person that knows that you're well-driven and that you're obsessive about being great and being successful, I guarantee you will get more people to come to you and you will impact more people than you think. People will come to you with questions that they're looking for answers from you for. And that's the position that God has put you in for you to actually be a blessing to them. So don't take it as, oh my gosh, so many people are coming to me, you know, I feel overwhelmed. People are coming to you for knowledge that you have for you to actually be a blessing to other people. And what you have to understand is that the more that you're starting to work on yourself, people are going to naturally gravitate towards you because they want to be in your position or they want to be around people like you. They want to be around people that are self-motivated. They want to be around people that are going to get to the bag. They want to be around people that are trying to work on themselves. You know, that's just a position that people want and they crave for. Whenever they come to that season, they're like, yeah, I'm tired of being average. I need to be around like-minded people. They will come to you for advice. And if not, they might come to you for a partnership. So we got to be obsessed with our craft. We got to be obsessed with wanting to be better for ourselves so that God has put us in a position to be a blessing to others. We can't settle for being average anymore, especially in this society. You know what I'm saying? Rent's going up, bills going up, you know, inflation's going crazy. So we got to find ways to be successful and be driven towards our goals. And if you don't know what your goals are, then you got to make sure you find some type of way to sit down, find some time to sit down and actually think about what you want out of life. Because I can't tell you what you want. I don't know what you want. But at the same time, I know that people love to be successful and they love to be financially stable, right? No one wants to be unhealthy. No one wants to be unfit, right? You can't even get up and walk around without being out of breath. No one wants to be in that position. So we got to get up. We got to start moving. We got to keep grinding because at the end of the day, you're going to learn that you have to be obsessed about your craft. I can't really say it more than, you know, I can't stress it enough. Being obsessed about what you want out of life is how you're going to get what you want out of life. Only you are going to be able to put that effort and yourself in position to actually obtain the things that you want. You know, I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking about it, man, because, you know, what better way is there to literally try to work on yourself than being obsessed over your own craft? Honestly, man. Like, there's no way that you're more obsessed about working on someone else's goals more than yours. And there's no way that you're not working on anything more than what you should be working for yourself. So at the end of the day, it comes down to you. You have to realize, am I obsessed about the craft and the position that God wants me to be in and the goals that I have? Or am I going to settle for being average when it gets hard? It's a question you have to ask yourself. So that's really all I got for you on this video. I just need you guys to reflect because people need to be more obsessed about what they do. I don't care if I look crazy. I don't care if I don't get enough sleep. I don't care what happens, man. I got to keep going and I got to keep grinding because at the end of the day, my results are based off of me. It's just a reflection of how hard I've worked. And that's how you got to think about it for yourself too. So that's gonna wrap up this video, y'all. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video to somebody that's kind of on the border of being obsessed or being average, because they're trying to, you know, you could be the change that actually puts them in a position to learn what it's like to be obsessed and to actually get them to the next level. So that's all I got for y'all. That's gonna wrap it up. Until then, I will catch you on the next video. I'm gone.